My parents skipped my wedding because I married before my perfect sister. Now their perfect family image is finally crumbling. I'm 29. My wife, Emma, is 27. We've been together since college, lived together for 5 years, and honestly, she's been the one stable presence in my life outside of therapy and maybe my best friend Jason. My family? That's complicated. Or maybe not. It's just painful. See, I'm the oldest child, but it never felt like it. My younger sister Mia is the perfect one. The golden child. Everything came gift-wrapped for her. Grades, praise, boys falling over themselves. My parents doted on her like she was royalty and I was just staff. Growing up, she could literally crash my car and get a hug. I'd forget to take the trash out and get grounded. I swear I started using humor just to survive that damn house. Being invisible? That was my baseline. Unless I messed up, then suddenly I was center stage. When Emma and I got engaged, we didn't make a big production. We'd been talking about it for months. We just went on a hike. I proposed under this tree where we carved our initials in college, and we cried together. It was perfect because it was us. But when I told my parents, crickets. No enthusiasm. Just a dry, oh wow, congratulations. When are you thinking? And then my mom said, you know Mia's hoping to get engaged soon too. You might want to wait a bit. I laughed. I thought it was a joke. It wasn't. I swear. From that moment on, they started treating my wedding like a scheduling conflict. Like it was this inconvenient speed bump on the way to Mia's grand romance. Which, by the way, didn't even exist yet. Her boyfriend hadn't even proposed. They'd been dating for 2 years and were figuring things out. Which is code for he's not into it and she's in denial. Emma caught on before I did. I kept defending my parents, saying they were just stressed or preoccupied. They're acting like your wedding is a problem to be managed, she said once, trying not to sound hurt. I shrugged it off, told myself they'd come around. So we planned a small, intimate wedding in the mountains. Just 30 people. Our closest friends, Emma's side of the family, who, by the way, treat me like their own, and my parents, supposedly. They RSVP'd yes. My mom even helped pick out a tie. She texted me the week before saying she was so excited. Then the day came. I remember pacing a bit that morning, waiting to see their car. The road to the cabin was gravel and long, so I figured they'd arrive late. Typical. My dad was always running behind. The ceremony started. They weren't there. We waited 15 minutes. Then 20. I started sweating in my tux. My best man whispered, should we call them? I said no, just start. They didn't come. I got married without my parents there. Without even a phone call. And still I made excuses for them. Told Emma maybe something happened. Car trouble. Emergency. I tried not to let it ruin the day. We partied. We danced. We made it ours. It wasn't until 3 days later, 3 fucking days, that I opened Facebook and saw it. There was the post. Celebrating our beautiful daughter Mia's future. So proud of the amazing woman you are becoming. We're so excited for what's ahead. They'd thrown her a surprise pre-engagement brunch. The same day as my wedding. The photo showed Mia beaming under white balloons that said bride-to-be, with a question mark like some goddamn game show tease. My mom wore her pearls. My dad had a champagne flute. It looked like their real wedding day. I just sat there, staring at the screen. My wife came into the room and stopped cold when she saw my face. I didn't say anything. I just turned the phone toward her. Her hand covered her mouth. I whispered, they didn't come because I got married before Mia. And in that moment, everything snapped. I wanted to believe there was a good reason. I told myself maybe it was a mix-up. Maybe something serious came up. Maybe they tried to make both events work and it just didn't happen. I wanted to believe that. Even after seeing the pictures, even after the rage bubbling in my chest and Emma pacing behind me whispering what the actual. I still gave them one last chance to tell the truth. I called my mom that night. She picked up after 2 rings, voice sugary sweet like nothing was wrong. Hi, sweetheart. How was the honeymoon? We've been dying to hear all about it. I didn't say anything for a second. I could feel my pulse pounding in my ears. Then I said, why didn't you come to my wedding? The pause on her end was tiny, but I caught it. Then she said, oh honey, we tried. Your father wasn't feeling well and we didn't want to bring that into your special day, eh? Don't, I snapped. Don't lie. You were at Mia's party. The one with the white balloons and the bride-to-be sign. Silence. Then, softly, you saw that. I laughed. Not the happy kind. The hollow, disbelieving kind. Yeah. I saw that. So let me get this straight, you skipped my wedding, your only son's wedding, because you didn't want Mia to feel, what? Upstaged. She tried to pull some BS excuse about how they had committed to Mia's event first and didn't realize the dates clashed until too late. But that was crap. We'd sent out the save the dates 5 months ago. She helped pick the damn venue. And suddenly the dots started connecting. Emma had noticed little things all along, the hesitation when we talked about the guest list, how my mom kept referring to our wedding as that little ceremony, the way she insisted we not post anything until after the weekend was over. They planned this. Planned it so Mia could be the first to get married. Or at least appear like she was. Her boyfriend hadn't even proposed yet, but my parents were dead set on preserving their fantasy of Mia being the crown jewel of the family timeline. And get this, Mia knew. I found out later from a cousin who came to our wedding, the only one from my side, that Mia made a snide remark the week before. Well, we'll see who ends up married first when he doesn't have mom and dad there. That's when it hit me. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't a scheduling issue. It was punishment. I dared to be happy before my sister. I disrupted the fantasy they've been cultivating since we were kids, the picture-perfect family with the perfect daughter who gets the perfect life in the perfect order. Be getting married first? That shattered the illusion. The next day I texted my dad. You weren't sick. You just didn't come. I know the truth. Don't bother with excuses. He replied, you don't understand the pressure your mother's under. Mia's had a hard time lately and we didn't want to hurt her. Didn't want to hurt her? They were okay hurting me. They were okay letting me stand at that altar looking out at the empty seats where they were supposed to be. What kind of parents choose one child's feelings over another's entire milestone? I showed Emma the texts. She didn't say anything at first, just rubbed my back and whispered, you don't deserve this. You've never deserved this. That night I lay in bed replaying everything. Birthday parties where Mia got bigger gifts. Report cards where she got praised for BS and I got silence for S. The time I broke my wrist in Little League and my dad said, why were you trying so hard anyway? This wasn't new. It had just finally gone nuclear. And now Emma, my wife, was caught in the fallout too. I didn't plan to confront them in person. But then I got this email from my mom, subject line, let's not let this ruin everything. Inside was a long, rambling message that started with, we were so sad to miss your big day, and then launched into a novella of excuses. My dad had back pain. Mia was emotionally fragile. They were torn. And then this gem. We hope you understand that sometimes, as parents, we have to make tough decisions that are in the best interest of the family as a whole. The best interest of the family as a whole. What the hell does that even mean? Emma saw me shaking as I read it. I had never felt anger like that before, just this heavy, full-body heat. My wife just put her hand on mine and said, go talk to them. Not for them, for you. So I did. I drove down to their house the next day. Walked up to the door like I had 1,000 times as a kid, except this time I didn't feel like their son, I felt like someone who'd been lied to, minimized, and finally saw it for what it was. My mom opened the door. She smiled like this wasn't the beginning of the end. Oh good, you came. I have some lemon bars in the fridge. I'm not here for lemon bars, I said. My dad was in the living room pretending to read the newspaper. He looked up, cleared his throat. You want to sit down? No, I said. I want to know why you couldn't show up for your son's wedding. My mom glanced at my dad. He gave that tired shrug like, you handle it. And then she said the most unhinged, dismissive thing I've ever heard. Sweetheart, don't make this bigger than it is. I blinked. You mean skipping my wedding? That's not big. She folded her arms, going full mom defense mode. You got married. You have a wonderful wife. We're happy for you. But you know how important timing is for your sister. If she felt like you were overshadowing her engagement. Overshadowing her engagement? I snapped. She wasn't even engaged. We thought it was close, my dad mumbled. We didn't want her to feel like she missed her moment. She missed her moment? I said, louder now. You missed mine. My voice cracked on that one. I didn't mean it to, but I guess it came from someplace deeper than I was ready to admit. And that's when the facade started to crack. My mom softened a bit. I know you're upset, but we've always tried to keep the peace. No, I interrupted. You've always tried to protect Mia. That's different. You didn't show up. You didn't even call. You knew what that would do to me. My dad stood up now, his voice a bit firmer. You're acting like we didn't love you. That's not fair. Then prove it. Name one moment in the last 10 years when you put me first. Just one. Because I can give you a whole list of times when Mia came before everything, and this was the last straw. They didn't answer. I looked between them and said the words that had been sitting in my chest since the moment I saw that Facebook post. You chose the idea of a perfect daughter over the reality of a good son. I'm done trying to be enough for you. Then I turned and walked out. My mom followed me out the door crying, calling my name. I didn't stop. I got in my car and drove straight home to Emma. I sat in the driveway for a long time, hands on the wheel, feeling like something had just snapped inside me. Not broken, released. The moment I walked through the door, Emma didn't say anything. She just hugged me. That night, I turned off my phone. No more texts. No more guilt. Just silence. I wish I could say it felt peaceful, but it didn't. It felt like grief. Like I just buried something I spent my whole life trying to resuscitate. A family that never saw me as equal. The days after the confrontation were weird. Quiet but heavy, like there was a constant storm cloud just parked over my chest. I'd never cut off my parents before. Even when they were clearly playing favorites. Even when I knew I was just background noise in my own family. But this time I didn't respond to their messages. I didn't call back. I blocked Mia too. She texted me the morning after the confrontation with one sentence. You know this was never about you. I stared at it for a long time. It was the most honest thing she'd said in years. Because that's exactly it. My wedding, my life, it was never about me to them. It was always about how it looked, how it reflected on Mia, how the family image would hold up. Emma was the one who pulled me back to earth. I remember sitting on the couch, feeling like I was floating through molasses, and she knelt down in front of me and said, You don't owe them a damn thing. Not your peace. Not your forgiveness. Not your silence. And I believed her. That week we did something crazy. We rethrew our wedding reception. Just for us. Our friends had been amazing throughout the whole mess, and when they heard what happened, they rallied. Jason brought his DJ gear. Emma's college roommate made this insane 5-layer cake. We rented a little event space downtown, threw on a playlist, and just celebrated like it was day one again. And here's the thing, it was perfect. No family politics. No weird glances. Just love. Joy. Laughter. People who were genuinely happy for us. But that high didn't last forever. The next twist came the following week in the form of an envelope slipped under our apartment door. No stamp. No return address. Inside was a letter. Handwritten. From my mom. I'll spare you the whole thing, but here's the part that floored me. I wasn't honest with you and I'm sorry. Your father and I didn't come to your wedding because Mia told us she wouldn't speak to us again if we did. She said it would destroy her emotionally if her older brother got married before her. We were afraid we'd lose her completely. I just sat there reading that line over and over. They chose emotional blackmail over their son. They let a grown woman throw a tantrum and gave her what she wanted at the expense of my wedding, my wife, my future. Emma read it, shook her head, and said, That's not an apology. That's a confession. She was right. The letter never actually said we were wrong. It just tried to explain it away like cowardice could somehow be justified if it came from fear. And here's the kicker. 2 days later, Mia got engaged. Suddenly she was posting about her dream wedding, tagging venues and vendors, making TikToks about manifesting true love. Like nothing had ever happened. I didn't congratulate her. I didn't like the post. I didn't send a message. And then something unexpected happened. Her fiancé, Kyle, reached out to me. A guy I'd only met twice, always thought was a bit too polished, like someone playing the part of a boyfriend rather than being one. He sent me this message. Hey man, I don't want to overstep, but I think you should know your parents have been trying to pressure us to move up the wedding date before the year ends. Mia told them she wants to be the first married child even if it means planning everything in 4 months. She says she has to beat you. I think this is messed up. Beat me? Beat me? It was never about love for her. It was a goddamn competition. And our parents played along like it was the Olympics. That was the final straw. Not the absence. Not the lies. Not even the letter. It was that realization they weren't just bad at showing love, they were willfully complicit in something toxic and petty and so deeply not love. So I sent one final group text to my parents and to Mia. I'm done being the villain in your fantasy. You made your choices. I made mine. I hope Mia has the wedding she's always wanted. But you won't be hearing from me again. And you sure as hell won't be invited to mine. Emma looked at me when I hit send and said, ours. And that moment? That was the start of something better. It's been 8 months since my wedding, the real one, the one where I stood at an altar and promised myself to the woman I love without my parents in the audience, without my sister giving side eyes in a pastel gown that somehow always stole the spotlight. 8 months. And in those months, something incredible happened. I started to feel free. Not at first. The silence was brutal in the beginning. There were days where I'd instinctively reach for my phone, thinking I'd text my mom a photo of something funny Emma said, or that I'd call my dad to talk about the new season of that cooking show we used to watch. But I'd stop myself. And that moment of not reaching out wasn't strength at first. It was grief. But that grief turned into clarity. Emma and I bought a little house just outside the city. It's not huge, but it has this beautiful porch where we drink coffee on Sunday mornings and a little garden we're slowly turning into a mess of sunflowers and tomatoes. We call it our peace place. I got a new job too. Better pay, shorter hours, and maybe most importantly, colleagues who actually respect boundaries. Emma says I've been smiling more, laughing more. I think I'm just lighter. The old me? I used to twist myself into knots trying to be enough. Be quieter. Be more successful. Be more impressive. And it was never enough. Not when Mia was around. Not when my parents had already decided who the star of the family was. But now? Now I'm enough for the people who matter. Emma. Our friends. Me. And here's something I haven't told anyone else, but screw it, I'll tell you, Reddit. Emma's pregnant. We found out last month. We cried in the kitchen, holding each other, realizing that we were about to start a new chapter. One where we get to decide what family means. One where our child will never sit in a corner wondering why their sibling got more hugs or attention. One where our child will be seen. I haven't told my parents. I don't plan to. Because being a parent isn't about genetics or holidays or pastel dresses at brunches. It's about showing up. And they didn't. Let me be clear, I'm not bitter anymore. I've let that part go. But I am done. And that's the kind of peace I never thought I'd have. So here's what I learned. You don't owe your family your happiness. If loving them means losing yourself, it's okay to walk away. Silence is not weakness. Sometimes it's the loudest thing you can do. You are allowed to choose peace over legacy. Just because someone shares your blood doesn't mean they deserve your joy. If you're reading this and you've ever been the lesser sibling, the backup plan, the one who got the leftovers of love, please hear this. You are not a placeholder in someone else's fairy tale. You are the main character of your own damn life. So go live it.